A lone figure stumbles under the dim streetlights. Naomi Carter, 29, her face bruised, lips split, clutches a small suitcase to her chest. Her cheap heels slap against wet pavement. Behind her, a door slams violently. From the porch, a man's voice roars. "You'll crawl back. You're nothing without me." Naomi keeps walking, trembling but determined. A neighbor leans on a fence, arms crossed, watching with disdain. "Where you think you going, girl? You'll never make it out there." Naomi stops under a flickering streetlight. Her hair clings wet to her face. She lifts her chin, eyes swollen but fierce, staring into the night. The rain drips, silence stretching. They told her she was nothing. That she was broken. But what they didn't know, was that broken things can still shine. The fluorescent lights hum softly. Naomi stands at the reception desk, suitcase at her feet, arms wrapped tight around herself. Name: Naomi. Naomi Carter. The receptionist hands her a form. Naomi grips the pen, but her hands shake. A warm voice breaks the silence. "You don't have to write everything tonight. Just breathe. You're safe here." Naomi looks up at the shelter's psychologist. For the first time in hours, her body loosens just slightly. When the world closes its doors, sometimes survival begins with one open hand. Later that night, Naomi is shown her shared room. On the bunk bed sits Leah, 12, a thin girl with big brown eyes, clutching a stuffed rabbit missing one ear. "You're new." "Yeah. Just got here." Leah studies her face, notices the bruise. "He hit you, didn't he?" Naomi freezes. Leah's voice is innocent but blunt. Naomi sits slowly, nodding. "Yeah. But I left." Leah smiles faintly. "Then you're stronger than him already." Naomi stares at the child. The words sting and heal at once. Naomi sits nervously across from a hiring manager. She wears borrowed clothes, her hands clasped tight. "Your resume, there's a gap. Almost 2 years. Care to explain?" Naomi swallows. Her voice falters. I was dealing with personal matters." The manager's eyes narrow. "We're looking for stability. Thank you for coming in." He stands before she can reply. Naomi gathers her things, shame flooding her face. Naomi sits alone, battered notebook open. She writes furiously, words spilling out like blood from a wound. Her handwriting trembles but grows steadier. Leah peeks over her shoulder. "What are you writing?" Naomi smiles faintly. "My story. So I never forget what I survived." Leah nods. "One day, you should read it to everyone." Naomi laughs softly, shaking her head. "No one wants to hear my story." But deep inside, a seed is planted. Naomi checks her email on an old computer. Among the spam, one subject line catches her eye. Her eyes widen. She clicks. The email explains, they've heard of her survival story through a shelter worker and want her to speak. Expenses covered. Naomi covers her mouth, overwhelmed. But then, her eyes freeze on the sponsor's name. Her hand shakes violently. Derek's company. Her abuser. Naomi slams the laptop shut, breathing hard. Her chest heaves as panic sets in. Leah rushes in. "What's wrong?" Naomi stares, tears streaming. "They want me to speak, but it's his conference." The screen freezes on her face, torn between fear and destiny. Naomi paces, clutching the printed email in her hand. Her breathing is shallow. Leah watches from the couch, hugging her rabbit tight. "What's wrong?" Naomi sits beside her, staring at the floor. "They want me to speak at a conference. About surviving." Leah's eyes light up. "That's amazing. You have to do it. Naomi shakes her head violently. You don't understand. The sponsor is Derek. His company. If I walk onto that stage, I'll be standy. Then make him stand in yours. Then make him stand in yours. Naomi's eyes glisten. She wants to believe it. But fear chains her. Naomi, younger and vibrant, arranges flowers on a table. Derek Shaw, mid-30s, handsome in a sharp suit, enters with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Why are these lilies here? I told you, I hate lilies. Naomi flinches. I thought they'd brighten the room. Derek grabs the vase, slamming it into the sink. Shards scatter. Naomi gasps. He leans close, his voice ice. When will you learn? Without me, you're nothing. Naomi blinks back tears. Naomi sits across from Dr. Elena Morris, twisting her hands. If I speak, he'll crush me. If I stay silent, he wins anyway. Dr. Morris leans forward. Naomi, trauma steals your voice. Speaking is how you steal it back. Naomi shakes her head. But what if people don't believe me? Dr. Morris smiles gently. You're not speaking for people to believe you. You're speaking so you believe in yourself again. Naomi's eyes well. For a moment, hope flickers. Naomi begins work at a local cafe. She wears an apron, serving customers. At first she trembles taking orders, afraid of making mistakes. But slowly, she finds her rhythm. A kind regular customer, Mrs. Green, smiles as Naomi serves coffee. You're good at this, dear. You've got a gentle way. Naomi blushes, whispering thanks. Each thank you feels like a small stone laid on the path back to dignity. Naomi stands at the podium with her notebook. A few shelter women gather to listen. She begins to read her speech, but her voice cracks. Her hands shake violently. The words blur. She drops the notebook, tears spilling. I can't do this. She collapses into a chair, sobbing. The women rush to comfort her. Dr. Morris kneels. Courage isn't about never breaking. It's about standing up after you do. Naomi covers her face, shame flooding her. Later that night, Naomi sits alone, staring at the invitation. Leah slips into the room, rabbit in hand. You're scared, huh? Naomi nods silently. Leah sits beside her. When I first came here, I was scared too. But when you told me you left, that made me brave. If you don't tell your story, how will other girls like me know they can be brave too? Naomi stares at Leah, tears sliding down her cheeks. She pulls the girl into a hug. You're right. I have to try. Naomi checks her email again, ready to confirm her attendance. But a new message appears. Subject, cease and desist, regarding false statements. It's from Derek's lawyers. The letter warns, if she speaks publicly about her past, they will take her to court, expose her unstable history, and destroy her credibility. Naomi's hands shake as she reads. Her vision blurs with tears. Naomi rushes to Dr. Morris, letter in hand. They're trying to silence me. If I go through with this, they'll bury me. Dr. Morris studies the letter, her face darkening. She looks up, eyes blazing. Then we'll bury their lies instead. Naomi stares at her, torn between terror and resolve. Freeze frame on Naomi's tear-streaked face, clutching the letter. Naomi curls up on her bunk, Derek's legal letter on the nightstand. Her hands cover her ears as though blocking out ghosts. Maybe they're right. Maybe I should just stay quiet. She stares at her battered notebook. The pages flutter slightly from the fan. A single line glares back at her in her own handwriting, silence kept me prisoner. My voice will set me free. Tears spill down her cheeks. Leah bursts in, clutching Naomi's notebook. Leah, what are you doing with that? Leah's eyes shine with mischief and courage. You were too scared to send it, so I did. Naomi gasps. I gave it to a journalist. She said people need to hear your story. Naomi's face drains of color. Leah, what have you done? Leah looks at her, firm. I saved you from yourself. Naomi scrolls the news on an old monitor. A headline blazes. Survivor to speak out against abuse at Resilience Conference. Below, her name, Naomi Carter. Social media explodes. Tweets. Comments. Hashtags, hashtag stand with Naomi. Shelter women gather behind her, murmuring in awe. You're brave, Naomi. Brave for all of us. Naomi trembles. I didn't choose this. Derek Shaw paces furiously, phone in hand. His sharp suit glistens under office lights. His lawyer sits nearby. She dares use my name. In public? Destroy her. Leak whatever you can. The lawyer hesitates. Sir, if we push too hard, it could backfire. Derek slams his fist on the desk. I built this city's respect. I won't let a broken woman take it from me. His eyes burn. Naomi overhears whispers. Shelter women show her Derek's response online, screenshots, twisted lies, accusations painting her as unstable, vindictive. Naomi slams the phone down, collapsing into a chair. I can't fight him. He has power, money, lawyers. I'll lose. Dr. Morris kneels before her. No, Naomi. You only lose if you let him define your story. Naomi shakes her head violently. I can't do it. I can't. Naomi walks in to find Leah at the front, speaking to a group of kids. Silence kept me prisoner. My voice will set me free. The children clap. Naomi freezes, her throat tight. Leah looks at her and smiles. See? Even your words can make us brave. Naomi's tears spill. Slowly, she nods. Then I'll say them, for all of us. Rows of chairs stretch before a massive stage, banners reading Youth Resilience Conference. The hall buzzes with reporters, cameras, donors. Naomi stands backstage, palms slick, notebook trembling in her hands. Dr. Morris adjusts her shoulders. Remember, you're not speaking to him. You're speaking to every soul who's still silent. Naomi nods, though her legs shake. A stagehand calls her name. Ms. Carter, you're up. Naomi inhales deeply, stepping into the light. The hall hushes. Hundreds of eyes fix on her. She grips the podium, her heart hammering. She opens her mouth. Naomi grips the podium. The lights are blinding. Hundreds of faces stare back, waiting. Her hands tremble over the microphone. She opens her notebook, but the words blur. She closes it slowly, taking a breath. My name is Naomi Carter. And for years, I was silent. The room stills. I lived with bruises I couldn't show. With words that cut deeper than fists. With chains you couldn't see. She swallows hard. The audience leans in. But today, I am here. Not because I am fearless. But because fear no longer decides my story. Applause ripples. Naomi steadies. The side doors slam open. Derek Shaw strides in, sharp suit, arrogance dripping. Gasps spread through the hall. Cameras flash. He storms down the aisle, shouting. She's lying. She's unstable. Ask anyone, she's just bitter I left her. Naomi freezes, eyes wide. The crowd murmurs, unsure. Derek points at her viciously. Without me, she's nothing. For a moment, Naomi falters. Silence hangs. Then, Leah stands from the audience, clutching her stuffed rabbit. She's not nothing. She's everything. The crowd erupts in cheers. Derek glares, but the tide has shifted. Naomi straightens, fire in her eyes. You hear that? Even a child knows the truth. She turns to Derek, her voice firm, steady. You tried to define me by my scars. But scars aren't shame. Scars are proof that I survived. The crowd cheers louder, some rising to their feet. Naomi grips the podium tighter. And if anyone here has ever been told you are broken, worthless, or weak, I'm here to tell you, you are not. You are survivors. And survival is not the end. It is the beginning of triumph. The entire hall rises in a standing ovation. Derek's face twists with rage, but he's drowned out by thunderous applause. Security quietly escorts him out as he sputters protests. Naomi steps back from the podium, trembling, overwhelmed. Tears stream down her face. Leah runs onto the stage, hugging her tightly. You did it. Naomi kneels, clutching her. No, we did it. Dr. Morris joins them on stage, clapping proudly, tears in her eyes. Naomi sits at a table, typing on a laptop. The cover page on the screen reads, Trauma into Triumph, by Naomi Carter. Around her, other women listen as she coaches them on writing their own stories. Leah passes out pencils and notebooks with a grin. Dr. Morris watches from the doorway, pride glowing on her face. Naomi pauses, looking at her group. Your story matters. Write it. Speak it. Because silence only serves the ones who hurt you. The women nod, scribbling furiously. A poster reads, Book Launch, Trauma into Triumph. Naomi stands at the front, signing copies, smiling warmly at survivors who line up. Leah sits nearby at the signing table, proudly holding her rabbit and a copy of the book. A reporter asks Naomi. How did you find the strength to turn trauma into triumph? Naomi glances at Leah, then at the crowd. By realizing my story was never just mine. It belonged to everyone still waiting for hope. The crowd applauds. Cameras flash. Naomi Carter was told she was nothing. That she was broken. But she proved them wrong. She turned her scars into stories. Her pain into power. And her trauma, into triumph. And because she spoke, others found their voice too. Because when one survivor rises, millions rise with them.